PSG won 6 trophies in 2025, the treble, the Champions League, records in Ligue, to one of the most successful seasons any club has ever had in the history of European football. And Vitinha, their heartbeat, their engine, their most important player, and said something afterward that I think is one of the most psychologically sophisticated things any footballer has ever said after a period of extraordinary achievement. He said, "What is done. We should get the good things from it. We have to concentrate on the future. We will have time to see and enjoy the past. But I do not think getting stuck in the past will help us now. 6 trophies." And he said, "What is done. The past is for later. Right now, there is only the future." That philosophy, applied consistently at every stage of a career that has been building quietly toward one of the most complete midfield presences in world football, is the entire psychology of Vitor Machado Ferreira, known simply as Vitinha. And today we break down exactly what it produces. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to PsyWealth, Richie. Today we are covering someone whose psychological story I think is one of the most quietly extraordinary we have ever featured on this channel. Because Vitinha does not have the dramatic origin story or the public redemption arc. What he has is something rarer and more difficult to articulate. Complete and consistent psychological philosophy that produces elite performance season after season, without drama, without noise, without the kind of public narrative that most athletes at his level generate. If you are new here, subscribe. Now let's get into it. Vitor Machado Ferreira, known as Vitinha, was born on February 13, 2000 in Braga, Portugal. He came through FC Porto's academy, one of the most respected youth development environments in Portuguese football. And at Porto, he showed enough that Manchester City came calling. They signed him on loan. And here is the specific detail that makes Vitinha's story psychologically instructive from the very beginning. Manchester City sent him back. He did not make the grade at that point, did not get the minutes, did not force his way into Guardiola's plans. The same Pep Guardiola who would later describe Rodri, a player in the same position, as irreplaceable. Vitinha was not Rodri's level yet at that point. He went back to Porto. He kept working. He became one of the best midfielders in Portugal. PSG paid 41.5 million euros for him in 2022 and under Luis Enrique, in a system specifically designed to maximize the qualities that make him extraordinary. He became something that Manchester City passed on, the 3rd best player in the world in 2025 according to the Ballon d'Or standings. From being sent back on loan to Ballon d'Or top 3, that distance, traveled without drama, without public grievance, without a redemption narrative built around the rejection, and is the psychological story worth telling. Here is the philosophical core of Vitinha's psychology, and I want to examine it carefully because it is deceptively simple. He said, "What is done. We must make the most of it. We must focus on the future. We will have time to look back and appreciate the past. But I do not think dwelling on the past is helpful to us right now." 4 sentences that together describe a complete relationship with time that most people never fully develop. He separates the past. What is done from the future. We must focus on the future with a clarity that removes the emotional weight from the first and redirects all available energy toward the second. Most people carry the past with them, the achievements and the failures, the good seasons and the difficult ones, the rejections and the recognitions, all of it accumulated and carried forward into the next moment. Vitinha puts it down, not because it does not matter, because dwelling on it does not help. The past is for later. Right now, there is only the future. And that forward orientation, that complete redirection of attention from what has been accomplished to what is still possible, is what allows him to chase 6 trophies and immediately start talking about aiming even higher. Here is something Vitinha said that reveals the psychological foundation underneath his individual excellence. He said, "We put the collective first. That is the key to PSG's dominance. Not I put the collective first. We. The collective orientation, that genuine, team-first, ego-free approach to the work is what makes the forward-focus philosophy sustainable. Because forward-focus, the constant orientation toward what is Still possible requires a specific relationship with individual achievement that most elite performers never fully develop. Most elite performers use individual achievement as the psychological fuel for continued effort. The recognition, the awards, the records, all of it feeding back into the motivation to keep going. Vitinha uses collective achievement as the fuel. The team winning, the system working, the next trophy as a group, and collective achievement because it is never about you alone is an inexhaustible source of motivation. Because there is always another trophy the team could win, always another level the collective could reach, always something more to aim for together. He placed third in the 2025 Ballon d'Or and said, "We put the collective first." That is the whole mindset. Here is the most emotionally significant dimension of Vitinha's psychological story at the 2026 World Cup. He said, "We want to win it for him," referring to Diogo Jota, the Liverpool forward who tragically died in a car accident in June 2025 along with his brother Andre. The Portuguese squad carried that grief into the tournament, and Vitinha, speaking about it, showed the specific psychological quality that makes the forward focus philosophy so powerful when it is applied with genuine emotional depth rather than cold detachment. He said, "We want to win it for him." The future is not just about statistics and trophies. It is about the people the achievement is for. The teammate who is no longer here. The brother who is gone. The grief that the collective carries together. And the specific dignity of converting that grief not into paralysis or into performance, but into genuine motivation to do something worthy of the person who is being honored. That is the forward focus philosophy applied at its deepest level. Not moving on, moving forward, for the right reasons, in the right direction, carrying the people you have lost with you rather than leaving them behind. Here is something about Vitinha's recent development that reveals the specific psychological quality of his game most clearly. Former PSG striker Pelé described him as a phenomenon and compared him to Andrés Iniesta. He said Vitinha does not lose the ball. He is always well positioned. He knows how to do everything with the ball. He does not make a mistake and does not miss a pass. He has the confidence of his club. He knows how to do everything. That description of a player who has no significant weakness, who processes the game at a speed that makes the right decision look obvious, is the product of the forward focus psychology. Applied to daily training, when you are not carrying the weight of past mistakes into the next session, when every training day is genuinely a fresh start, the learning accelerates. The technical refinement compounds. The decision-making sharpens because you are not managing the psychological residue of what went wrong yesterday. You are fully available for what is possible today. Vitinha is fully available every single day because what is done is done. And right now, there is only what comes next. And now, I want to speak directly to you, because I think Vitinha's philosophy contains something that most people watching this genuinely need right now. Most of us carry the past too heavily. The rejection that still stings, the achievement that we are still living off, the failure that we have not yet fully put down, the success that we are afraid to move past in case we cannot reach it again. And all of that, carrying all of that weight, uses up the mental bandwidth that could be going into the next thing, the next attempt, the next opportunity, the next level that is still possible if we can free ourselves from the gravitational pull of what has already been. Vitinha said we will have time to see and enjoy the past, but right now dwelling on it does not help. Put it down. Not forever, not disrespectfully, just for right now. Because right now is where the next trophy lives. Right now is where the next level is being built. Right now is the only moment where anything you actually care about can happen. Manchester City sent him back. He put it down and kept working. PSG won 6 trophies. He put it down and aimed even higher. Diogo Jota died. He picked up the grief and carried it forward as motivation. That is the forward focus psychology, not the absence of feeling. The complete disciplined, consistently chosen orientation of all available energy toward what is still possible, starting right now. In this moment, with whatever you have, which is always more than you think. Vitinha was sent back by Manchester City. He put it down. He went back to Porto. He worked. PSG paid 41.5 million euros. He won 6 trophies. He placed 3rd in the Ballon d'Or. He said what is done is done. Aim even higher. He said we want to win it for Diogo. He said we put the collective first. That is the forward focus psychology. The specific, disciplined, consistently practiced ability to put down what has already happened, the achievements, and the rejections and the grief, and redirect everything toward what is still possible. Not because the past does not matter, but because dwelling on it does not help. And the future, the next trophy, the next level, the next reason to give, everything is always worth more than the weight of what has already been. Subscribe to PsyWealth Richie. Share this with someone who is carrying the past too heavily and needs permission to put it down and aim even higher. We will see you in the next one.